Craig Parker here, Parker's Property Sourcing, just coming at you with another video today. And today's video is how to check rental demand in an area that you choose to invest in, as well as return on investment. This is just as important because you can't really work out your return on your investment unless you know what rent you're getting in. Yeah, so when you're looking in an area and you're working out where you want to invest, or you'll make your first investment or invest next, there are a few little tips and tricks that you can do on Rightmove and Zoopla and that can help you work out very, very quickly if the rental demand is in that area. And it's a step that you shouldn't really be skipping because, as I said, you can't make any cash flow if you have no tenants. So if you're investing in an area with high demands, there's some real good pluses to that, and that is you will rent it out quicker and you will have less void periods. What do I mean by void periods? So like when you buy the property and you're trying to get it rented out, that from the minute you bought it to the day you rent it out, that space in between is a void. Yeah, or if that tenant then decides to move out and you got to do a little refurb or whatever and get somebody else in, the time between those two are a void. So that's a void. But if it's in a high demand area, you know, I've done it in the past where I am doing viewings with the existing tenant in, as long as they're okay with it. So when they're moving out, you know, the other tenant, the new tenant, is moving in. So I just think high rental demand areas are just a necessity in property investing. Yeah. So tip number one to work out if the demand is high in that area, as I've mentioned it before, you can go on Rightmove and you can type in your area. So do the postcode. If you're buying a property, I'd say do the postcode and then just do maybe, I'd say 3 miles, maybe even less, but 3 miles within that vicinity, and work out, just put filter how many properties are to let. Yeah. And then write that number down, for example. Yeah. So let's say, for just the sake of this video, in that area there's 50 properties to let. And then what you do, you put let agreed also. And so it'll then show you on Rightmove and Zoopla. So there's like a little filter you can press, a little square box you can press, and then what it then show you is what's been let, and what is also up for let. So then that number would change. So that 50 would turn into another number. I don't know, but let's say for the ease of this video, let's say it turns into 150. Yeah. So you know already that the demand is high in that area because there's more properties that have been let out than what is available to let. So that's one way where you can work out very, very quickly if the demand is high in the area. Another one is another thing that I'm constantly talking about, and I'm an advocate of, is, you know, talking to estate agents and getting to know them and finding these things out. If you've got a good relationship with an estate agent, or you're building a good relationship with an estate agent, they'll be very honest and open with you. So it's a question. It's a more of a thing of a conversation with them to say, 3-bed terraced house in this sort of area. You know, how long does it roughly take you to let it out? It's that simple. or a 2-bed terraced house or a 1-bedroom flat, whatever it is you want to be investing in, how long roughly do you think it takes to rent it out, or does it take you guys on average to rent it out? How many viewings are you getting? How many people are you getting through the door? And you can quickly then determine if there's a demand just from that one conversation with an estate agent. And if you're not 100% sure with that strategy, ask 5 estate agents or 10. Then if you get in around a similar sort of number with them in the area, then you already know that, there's a demand or there isn't a demand in the area. Another thing would be look to check for to let signs. Is there lots of to let signs? The little boards, the little billboards that the estate agents put up outside houses. Is there a lot of them in the area that you're looking to invest in? If there is, there's a demand. Or sometimes they have let signs also, not just to let, to say, look, we're in this area and we've let this. I remember I was going to one area before up north, and I saw so many of the signs like to let, and I was just like, wow, this is such a rental area. And there are some places in the UK where there's more, the wages aren't the best, so people rent much more than people buy in certain areas. And I mean buy as in buy to live in, so as residential mortgages. So that's another statistic you can check, to be fair, and work out in areas, is there more people buying or is there more people renting? You can even ask ChatGPT that if you really want to, and it'll give you the answer, and that'll tell you the demand for the rental market. So for me, that this is a necessity to be checking rental demand in an area that you plan to invest in. Once you know where the rental demand is, then you look to invest in that area. And then what happens is you are confident in, your investment. Before you've even worked out your return on your investments or worked out the capital growth in an area, you know already that there's a rental demand. So if you're buying like me for cash flow and also capital growth, but if you're building your portfolio and you want a bit of both, and you're saying, okay, now I want to get some cash flow, I want to get some good cash flow, you want to be using those little tricks that I've put in this video today, i.e. let versus let agreed, talking to local estate agents, checking on a Google search or a ChatGPT search in the area that you're looking to invest in. Is there more people that are homeowners, as in living in it, or is there more people renting? These little things will just help you and help you determine whether there's a demand. Return on your investment is as important as rental demand. Return on your investment doesn't exist if you're not receiving rent. So when you're running your numbers, you want to be running numbers in areas that have high rental demand, and then if it's got high rental demand and then your return on your investment stack up, it's a green light. It's time to start acting, Then you look at it, then you start looking at, okay, what's been the capital growth in this area, so on and so forth. But for me, rental demand and return on your investments are super, super important, especially if you're trying to become financially free through property investment. That's the way forward. So, hope you enjoyed the video. I've been Craig Parker. Till next time.